Hello, warriors. Welcome to the U Movement. I am B. Today has felt like 17 days in one. It has been all kinds of weird. So today's video, I wanted to talk about some of the weirder stuff that happens on the twin flame journey, aka your Kundalini awakening. Because for me, it has been odd at many, many times. I've already explained, as in my background as a Reiki master, I would work on clients and intuitively know through my own empathic abilities where there was energetic congestion, where there were issues. I refer mostly to one client I had that had cancer of the spine that left me in the worst pain ever. So I always scheduled her last in the day and then came home and did a spiritual bath. So I have been aware for some time that I would be what would be described as a medical intuitive, or a medical empath, a physical clairsentient is the gift. Clairsentience is the gift, where you feel things, you sense things. And when I had my Kundalini, more and more of my gifts started opening up and coming online, and it led to a whole lot of confusion. Especially because a lot of the claircognizance, which is just knowing things, and a lot of the telepathy of also just knowing things that you're sensing from other people, like telepathically picking up on the energies and in a sense reading their mind. Unfortunately, I was gaslit anytime, because my person, my go-to, had become so isolated in my own life, and I referred mostly to my ex-husband as my go-to. So when I would have visions, for example, of him with a redhead, he would downplay it and say, no, that's not what's happening. So I didn't trust a lot of my intuitive gifts as they came online, and I was very confused by a lot of them. Of all the things he did, one of the cruelest things he did was gaslight me while I was trying to figure out what my gifts were, because that caused years of extra angst and confusion, and that was all kinds of cruel as far as I'm concerned, because when somebody is suffering, to figure out what's happening to them and what is real and what is not real, to have someone gaslight their experiences really threw me off course for a period of time, so that I didn't understand a lot of my sensitivities as they were opening up. And with the clairsentience / medical intuitive, I started experiencing all kinds of crazy symptoms, which is one reason I've become a little bit of an expert healer, because one thing after another, I've had to heal my body. I've had to heal my body from, you name it. I suffered from headaches. I suffered from sinus issues. I suffered from intestinal issues. I suffered from memory loss. I suffered from brain fog. I suffered from aches and pains and frozen shoulder, and all the symptoms of kidney stones that brought me to the hospital at one point in time, which in every way, shape, and form, the doctor said, you are a classic example of kidney stones, and then all the tests came back negative. I've had rashes that were completely unexplained. I can understand why my doctor was probably rolling their eyes anytime my name came on their books, because, at that point, no doubt, she probably thought I was a hypochondriac or something, which I wasn't. I was physically experiencing these things. And they went on to get weirder and weirder. And I started experiencing other people's hangovers. That was really unpleasant considering I had quit drinking. Not only did I get to experience other people's hangovers, I got to experience other people's drunk. So here I was, clean as anything, and I'd be in the fits and giggles of laughter, totally feeling drunk, as well as on drugs that I wasn't taking. So that was a very unpleasant experience. They get weirder. I experienced other people's, in my own physical body, other people's making love. Or pleasuring themselves. I don't know what they were doing, but my entire body was feeling it. And it was, I have to say, one of the grossest experiences ever, because I was like, ew, I don't want to feel this. I don't want to feel this. This isn't mine. This is not mine. A lot of people in the spiritual community talk about energies coming in that aren't yours and, send back to sender. And Matt was like, send back to sender, send back to sender. I don't want to experience this. But on top of that, I started experiencing dark things. I started experiencing other people's memories. And when I say experiencing, I meant it was like I was there. It was so real to me that I didn't know if they were my memories. And it was terrifying as my body shook and released these. So it wasn't like I'm looking at something outside of myself and saying, oh, that's a horrible memory. It was inside me. Energetically, it was inside me. And I'm like, did this happen to me? Was this real? And I mean, they were horrific, not good memories at all. I also started experiencing people's illnesses from all over the world. And it got weirder and weirder as it progressed, because those that have found me on my channel, I look at it as everybody has been divinely guided towards me. And I've had a lot of people say, you just came across my feed randomly, and oh my God, everything that you're saying totally resonates with me. And I feel like I know you. And a lot of like these divine connections of magnetic attraction that kind of defy odds. Even people saying, it's like you're telling my story. It's like you're telling my experience. So when I started having these experiences, and I can remember one morning I was lying in bed and I couldn't breathe. I was feeling like my breath was very shallow, and it was almost like as if I had pneumonia, but there was absolutely nothing wrong with me. I had no cold. I had nothing to precipitate it. I knew at this stage there was 0 point going to a doctor about it, because no doubt if I had done any x-rays on my lungs, they would have said that I was totally fine and everything was clear. But energetically, everything was not fine. And it's scary and overwhelming. And so I lay with my hands on my heart and my lungs for about 5 to 6 hours, just sending Reiki healing into myself, and doing a lot of self-healing work and clearing the energy. As some of you know, I speak light language, channeling energies from higher realms, as well as with my hands move energy. So I've been doing self-healings for 5 solid years. No, well, it would be after my Kundalini. So 2021. I don't know. I'm getting confused by dates at this stage. A long time. It was like nightly at 6:30, Spirit would blow the whistle and I would be like down horizontal, lying in bed, and something would come up and I was clearing it. Things were coming to me from all over the place. I had no idea whose stuff was coming, why it was coming, where it was coming from. It wasn't like I had people phoning me and saying, hey, could you perform a healing for me? This was just like my training camp. God was like, okay, you need to start learning how to do some of your soul's work. And so stuff would come to me and I would do whatever was required to heal it. And if that meant doing actual care for my body using aloe on rashes that just appeared. I thought that I had shingles and I went to the doctor and they're like, that's not like any shingles I've ever seen. I don't know what that is. But here, have some aloe. Well, actually they offered me steroid cream and I said no and went home and did my own aloe treatment. So I know a lot of home remedies from treating all of these things. And the example with the lungs, and this is what started happening, was I would have one of these weird and wonderful episodes, is what I would call them, and I would be doing healing work. And then randomly, out of nowhere, somebody would contact me from the other side of the world and start telling me their life story and start telling me their issue. And I was working on the lungs and I knew there was a lot of abuse involved with this one particular woman. And she began to tell me that she had lung disease and she was in her 60s and she was living in Australia, and she proceeded in telling me stories. Meanwhile, as she's telling me all this stuff, I'm healing and clearing stuff. And I was not in any confident place to be able to say, oh, hey, I'm clearing that for you. Like, ego was not involved in this. I was uncomfortable. I didn't know what I was doing. It was like training, hush, hush. And then more and more and more of these weird and wonderful experiences started happening. And then they got worse. They got really worse because I started experiencing other people's suffering. And this is in part why I do my channel, because I'm picking up on collective energies all the time, and I'm picking up on other people's stuff through clairsentience and telepathy all the time. And whether it comes to me or not by choice is irrelevant. It's not anything to do with my will. It's like God has said, this is your gift, one of your gifts. You're a filter, you're a healer, you're on a shaman's initiation, and you need to heal this shit. So I put up and shut up and find a way through. So one after another, I have found tools and techniques, and you can see, at this stage, I have over 500 videos on my awakening journey of me overcoming anxiety and me overcoming fear and me overcoming panic, me overcoming, this health condition and that health condition, and they're never ending. And lately, in the last this morning and this evening, and I've had this energy before come to me, so I don't know whose it is for sure. I have suspicions, but I have no confirmation. That's another thing, is you'll feel a wave of energy come into you, you'll feel an emotion, you'll feel a thinking, a thought pattern that comes into you, and you're like, this isn't mine. Like, why am I thinking these thoughts? I used to think all kinds of weird thoughts, like, am I a bad person? I used to ask that question all the time. Am I a bad person? Am I a bad person? It wasn't my thoughts. I caught somebody else's thoughts, but I didn't know I had this capacity for telepathy. So I assumed they were my own thoughts, because you start to experience these sensations in your body, in your emotions, or in your mind, and your ego immediately tries to create a story that says, well, this must be mine. This belongs to me. And it's taken a lot of practice and time to be able to distinguish what is in fact mine and what is in fact somebody else's. And when it is somebody else's, what I'm supposed to do with it. And what I'm supposed to do with it is heal it. Or transmute it, alchemize it, send it to the light, ground it. It all depends on what it is, what the sensation is what I'm overcome with, because every single thing has its own nuanced solution, and that's why I keep getting sent different things. So the energy that I've been sent this morning, and it's been a visitor in the past, it is severe paranoia. And it's not mine, but my mind would like to grab hold of it and run away with it. And that's why, one, I know it's not mine, because I can be in the observer and say to myself, I am safe. I am safe in my body. I am safe in my body, in my bed. I am safe in my body, in my bed, in my room. I am safe in my body, in my bed, in my room, in my home. I am safe. And that would be my running mantra when this wave it almost wanted to overtake me, but I wouldn't let it. It was a fighting with. And in wrestling with this particular energy of panic and paranoia, which mostly resided in the heart chakra, I really discovered that movement was the best thing to release it. And sometimes, lying still, cowering when we're feeling overwhelmed with energy is not the best thing to do, because energy, no matter what it is, whether it's grief, whether it's anguish, whether it's anger, whether it's paranoia, confusion, energy needs to move. So if you're being called on an awakening journey that is more like a shaman's initiation, which means your mission is to go back out into the world after your awakening and be a spiritual guide or teacher, work in the medical profession, bridging the gap between traditional medical and spiritual. Maybe you're a bridge in the education system, bridging the old way of thinking scientifically and bridging it spiritually. Maybe you're working with children. Maybe you're doing healing work and you're going to be a Reiki master, a hypnotist, anything like that. So if you're being called into mission work and one of your skills or tools that you use is your clairsentience and the empathy on overdrive, as I call it, whether we like it or not, it is our jobs to deal with what energy comes. I've heard in spiritual communities oftentimes send it back to sender. Well, the last thing I want to do is send somebody who is feeling suicidal, paranoid, panicked, or overridden with anxiety. I send that energy back to them. Oh God, no. I want to help them. I have the utmost empathy for them. I have absolute compassion and love for them. So I want to help facilitate energetically on the quantum field, helping to clear that energy any which way I can. And so movement, just radical movement in any way that feels good. And so this morning, my body began doing a lot of kriyas. And I've talked about kriyas before because I have them often in my head. the wobble, and that's because energy's moving on up, and there's a disruption in my throat chakra here, and so it's trying to, the Kundalini is trying to do its thing as I have this, that this is mine. This is mine. So my body this morning began to just shake. I mean, I had full tremors, and I got my massage gun. I love that thing. Another freebie from my air miles. And I began to just up and down my thighs, clear out the root chakra and clear out and make space to help ground and sending this energy deep into the ground. I have grounding sheets on my bed, so it's like I can visualize any excess energy going into my sheets, going out the cord. It goes outside into a stake in my backyard. Because I live in Canada, and in the middle of winter, and this Kundalini has been intense, and in the middle of winter, I'm not going to go lie in 4 feet of snow. I have contemplated it, mind you. I do occasionally get myself dressed in all of my clothes and go like lean against trees in the local park or go for a walk, but my option for lying in my grass is gone. And I've needed to do a lot of grounding work throughout my Kundalini awakening. And so, as I said, it was a little bit embarrassing because I was on a meeting, a Zoom meeting, and I was like, please excuse me. At least they were all in the healing so they weren't, they knew that weird shit happens on a Kundalini. We were discussing Kundalini. So I was full in Kriyas as this panic and paranoia was making its way through me. And, you know, release, clearing. And the more that I shook, and I was violently shaking at this point. The more that I shook, the more of that energy began to transmute, which was great because being in the energy of paranoia it is terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying. And your mind is trying to make sense of the energy and tell you that you're in danger. And so there's a reprogramming element that has to be at play. And that's why I use the continual, you know, you're safe. You're safe in your body, and get the mindfulness back into the body as much as you possibly can. You're safe in your body. You're safe in your body on your bed. You're safe in your body on your bed in your house. You're safe, you're safe, you're safe. And just keep repeating that. And I was sending that to whoever the originator of this energy was. So I hope they heard that. I don't know. If that was you, I would love for you to please get in touch with me and let me know that you're doing okay, because I understand what you're going through. And I understand the thinking that's at play that says, you know, I'm not safe, and something's out to get me, and the world's out to get me, and all of this. Because the problem is so many people are currently going through an awakening or a Kundalini, and they have no idea what's happening to them. Absolutely none. They simply know that their life is, their 3D world is falling apart. Perhaps they're faced with severe health issues and conditions, and as one of the initiations, I did a video a while back called The 4 Initiations of a Kundalini. I believe it's in the Dark Night of the Soul playlist. Please check that out. Perhaps their relationship is crumbling as they're trying to extricate themselves out of narcissistic energies. Perhaps their 3D reality is going through a period of job loss and absolute devastation. And listen, I know all about the tower that is the collapsing reality. You know, in my own life, being faced with a legal battle that has, surprise, surprise, been delayed again. I handled it so well today. Oh my God. I handled that. So here, that's why I say it was like 17 days at once. Here I'm experiencing and doing this healing work. And in my own life, that I could have easily attached that to that. The mind could have said, oh, this is because of that delay. And I was like, no, I'm bothered by the delay at this stage. And it's like Kundalini or spirit kind of pummels you from the inside out until you bring your reaction, your emotional reactionness back into like a place of calm. So the fact that there was another delay today, I was very proud of myself. I wrote a letter to my lawyer that was 2 sentences long instead of multiple paragraphs, and just said, you were supposed to get in touch with me. When is the new date? And I was like, good for you. Wow, you handled that situation a lot better than you would have 6 months ago or a year ago. A year ago, I would have been on the floor having an outright panic attack, being absolutely in the throes of panic and anxiety. And I was like, no, I'm not going to let myself go down. I'm already dealing with this other energy. I'm not going to let myself attach the two and create a clusterfuck extraordinaire. So, one, I was shaking it out and clearing it out of me. 2, I had a cold shower. And please, if you're experiencing panic, anxiety, or any of those types of emotions, have yourself a cold shower. 3, have yourself some chamomile or valerian tea to soothe and relax. And those are my top 3 for helping to bring down, as well as the using mantra of saying you're safe. Because listen, I understand. When you were born and raised in a highly toxic, dysfunctional home, like mine, that was raised by a narcissistic parent, or where there was constant chaos and constant conflict, the only way that you can survive is to become hypervigilant to your situation around yourself. And that hypervigilance puts your nervous system on high alert 24/7, which means you're pre-programmed to look for catastrophes, disasters. And I've gone through my life with complex post-traumatic stress. So I know all about all the preparing that you need to do, and all the like self-soothing that I've tried to do to keep things masked. So I understand these energies. I've had to clear them in my own life, and I've had to clear them in other people's lives, unbeknownst to them. So I have had people actually say, I feel much better now that I've talked to you for some reason. I don't really know why. And it's funny because I look at it like there's kind of 2 realities that are happening. There's the 3D reality, and you could end up having a conversation with somebody in a grocery store. And that conversation, whatever's happening on the 3D, hi, have you ever tried this tea before? I have. It's good. You should try it too. Is a very like undescript, boring communication. But on the 5D, you might be exchanging a lot of energetic information, a lot of codes. It's like you think that this is what's happening, but that's not what's happening. What's happening is really up here. A lot of the stuff that is soul related. So there's a second game at play in this world that we're playing, which is the world that I see with my 5 senses, and then there's this other world that I'm starting to see with all these extra senses and all these energies that I'm picked up on. And it doesn't matter if somebody's in the same room or in the same town or even on the same continent. Quantum mechanics, and which is way beyond my brain. I am not a physicist by no means, but quantum mechanics allows us to be in communication and allows us to be in contact energetically with people all over the world. And this is where we start talking about things like soul tribe. Because your soul tribe or your soul cluster, energetically, we're dispersed all over the place, but energetically, we're communicating in ways. And so I have, as I said, people just find me and say, you know, like, I saw one of your light language videos and I don't know, it made me feel good, or it really activated me. And I'm like, okay, that's fantastic. It's soul to soul communication. I'm letting my ego get out of the way and just letting what happens, and what you get out of that's fantastic. My mind's not involved in the process. When I do my light language, I'm not sitting there thinking, and now I'm saying clear your heart chakra, and now I'm saying move through the mind, open your... I'm not saying anything. I am saying zero things. I am in a state of like, I am just open, allowing the flow of energy to come for the highest and greatest good. You know, like I do call into the angelic realm to always protect me and send the messages out to the right people, and trust that whoever needs to hear my messages will hear my messages, and whoever needs to energetically connect with me is going to connect with me one way or another. So I don't really do any like marketing or, you know, trying to sell myself out and advertise myself at all. I don't do any advertisement. Because I tried it once, actually. I'm going to be honest with you. I tried it once. And when you cast a net out, you catch everything. And I didn't want to catch everything. I want to catch very specific people that are divinely meant to come to me, to interconnect with me, yes. Catching everything is time wasting, irritating, and you spend a lot of time going like, no. I don't want this block. I don't want this person block, because I won't tolerate any type of nonsense. I just won't. Not after what I've been through in my life. There's just this much, 0% of narky, nasty, cruel behavior is what I'm willing to tolerate. So that includes sarcastic comments, people that laugh. You know, unless it's a joke, and people laugh at a serious question, or they laugh at a serious post, even if it's not mine. If I see that somebody has laughed at somebody's very serious plea for help on any of my Kundalini groups or anything like that, they immediately get blocked. My block list is ginormous. I'd rather be safe and protected in a community that supports each other and loves each other and understands what I'm all about and what I'm doing, and more to the point, understands me on a soul level. And connects with me on a soul level. I'm looking for soul tribe. I'm looking for my community. I'm not looking to be the most popular. I'll never be the most popular, because that's not my mission. My mission is to connect with the right people and give the right people the messages that they need, so that they feel seen, they feel heard, they feel understood, they feel like it's okay to have emotions, including those horrible, nasty ones like paranoia. And that, no, you're not going crazy, even though on a Kundalini awakening, I think every single person that I've interviewed has shared that they went through their own mystical madness as part of the process, because you need to go mad. You need to lose your mind. You need to go a little bit crazy, because what is considered normal, what is considered sane, what is considered to be acceptable in the old way of being is insane. It's crazy. So you need to break out of crazy by being even more crazy for a period of time as reality begins to melt. So very sadly, there are many people in our communities, and one of my soul tribe people works in an emergency ward, and she has informed me that the rates of people coming in who are having experiencing energies like psychosis or feeling suicidal and don't know what to do, or feeling utter confusion and overwhelm, are steadily growing. And unfortunately, our systems as they're set up are not set up to understand I'm going through a Kundalini awakening. This is mystical madness that I'm having. This is paranoia because my crown chakra is opening and I'm experiencing gifts. If you said all of that to a psychiatrist, good luck to you. Good luck to you. And I have spoken at this stage and interviewed many people and had conversations with many of my clients, and I'm not going to say all of them, but I'd say there is definitely a high percentage of people that have experienced psychosis-like states of being through their awakening. So the weird gets sometimes very weird. Very, very weird. I myself have had times in my awakening where I was not terrified of what I was experiencing. And that's one story I'll share with you at some point, but I still can't wrap my head around when I started hearing things. Now I hear spirit as in me, but this was not what that was. This was a completely and utterly different experience, and it scared the bejesus out of me. And I by no means profess to call myself an expert in the darkness or the dark arts or the spiritual dark. But the fact of the matter is, we cannot look at spirituality and accept that there's only light. As much as I want to, and as much as I would very much like to pretend there's, just the angelic kingdom and God and Jesus and Buddha and my ancestors and everything is hunky-dory, there is also other energies at play. There is shadow that is at play. There is negative energies, negative entities, demons, and I don't look at it per se as in like, a movie figure kind of demon, but it's dark energy that can, and I've seen, possess a lot of people who are unhealed. And we've gone through our lives, at least I had gone through my lives, thinking, oh, everything's just hunky-dory and I'm going to just smoke my cigarette and drink my drink and I'm just fine and I'm just me and the spiritual realm is just butterflies and everything's nice and I'm in these positive, happy, peace, love vibes all the time. And then life started to get darker and darker and darker. And when we open ourselves more and more and more and our light becomes brighter and brighter and brighter, we're going to attract not just nice things. We're going to attract spirits that have moved into the light, which I've had experiences with. We're going to attract negative energies or entities that I've also had experiences with, because on a shaman's initiation, yet another initiation you will be challenged with is to become empowered enough to be able to overpower those types of energies. So we're learning to overpower our own emotions. We're learning to overpower other people's and transmute other people's emotions. We're learning to overpower and control our minds and any thoughts that come into our minds that may feel like, where did this thought come from? Why am I thinking like this? This isn't how I talk to myself. Don't always listen to your mind. It's a liar, and it may not always be yours. And then we're also, we have to learn to stand in our power, stand in our light, and outshine the darkness. And one of my dear friends, my bestie, always reminds me of to think of the match. Because when you light a match, it doesn't have a shadow. So the match overpowers, the light overpowers, and you are the light, which means you have the power to overpower. We just don't know it when we're in the throes of dealing with emotions and feeling darkness and this and that. And so we need to go through processes of learning how to transmute energy, learning how to manage it, learning how to protect ourselves, how to shield ourselves, how to clear energy, how to heal stuff. So all of our gifts come with a challenge. It's not like, here's your present, and here's the instructions, and here's a safe little playground for you to learn. It's like, no, you're thrown into the deep end, and you're like, here's your gifts, they're online, now figure it out. And you're going to figure it out by failing. You're going to figure it out by falling. And I did a video just the other day of the beauty that is failing. You're going to figure it out by fumbling. You're going to figure it out by making a good bit of mistakes and go, oops, I'm not going to do that again. Such as, for me, I learned through the hard way that once you have elevated in your own Kundalini awakening up to a certain level, that opening yourself further through the use of cannabis, alcohol, tobacco, I don't know about tobacco actually, but yeah, I'm going to say because it was that snorty thing that I did that opened me up to something. Because that was a form of tobacco. It was called Aya. I should have really researched that one a little bit more. But sacred medicines, psychotropic drugs, magic mushrooms, all of these types of things. And if you're doing them and they're influencing the DMT in your brain, but your DMT is already naturally producing because you have opened your third eye. Once you've opened, this is what it comes down to. Is once you've opened your third eye and then you add something that's going to give you even more DMT, it's like, whoa, too much. So all of those things, I'm not putting any of them down, and I'm not putting anyone down that has ever used any substances because I used them all. I tried them all. I would have tried anything and everything to help me with my PTSD symptoms that were arising throughout this awakening. And what I learned is it's like opening the door even wider, and then you're inviting in, you're shining a bright light, and what comes to the light? Everything, good things, bad things, critters, moths, energy vampires, anything and everything is going to come to the light. So you need to learn to maybe not have that door open so wide. And so this is why I give a warning. That's all it is a warning. Is if you are on a Kundalini. If you're not, then go do whatever you want to do. Like, honestly, or do whatever you want to do anyways, but be forewarned. Let me be the forewarning that when you mix Kundalini with sacred medicines, especially ones, that already can exacerbate paranoia, things like that, it will make your symptoms worse, not better. The reason why you might be taking it is to help you with your trauma and to help you cope with life. But once you've had that Kundalini, and once that third eye is already open, and once you start adding more DMT, because you can produce your own DMT. If you want to produce your own DMT and open yourself, then breath work. is what you need to do. The long warrior breath work, the long panting style breathings, and there's excellent ones. I have a breath work playlist of ones that I recommend that come with long holds and squeezes in the right times and place. So you're pushing all of that air up and like your whole body tingles and everything feels fantastic. So breath, your actual breath is the best medicine of all. If you're wanting to stimulate that. But the last thing I wanted to do was stimulate it more while my spiritual gifts were already wide open. And I was like, what the heck is happening? What am I understanding? What is real? What is not real? I'm experiencing claircognizance. Nothing makes any sense. Is this real? Is that real? Are you safe? Are you not safe? And that's what it comes down to with trauma. Is what is reality? Especially when you've had your life being gaslit, reality is super important. It's super, super important. So make sure if you're getting external validation from somebody, that you're getting it from somebody like me, not getting it from somebody who's got their own agenda at play, because they could be feeding you with a whole bunch of misinformation. And then you're going through, like I did, I have spiritual gifts coming online and I'm seeing things like, I'm seeing you with this redhead. Who's this redhead? There was a redhead. So if you're seeing things and you're like, oh, I don't feel right about this situation, I need to get out. Oh, this person gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'm sensing some darkness from this person, and they're like, hello, I'm very charming. You're lovely. I just think you're fabulous. And you're like, no. Or if you're getting mixed messages and you're getting all kinds of different things, listen, we went our whole life with third eye blind. You know, you want to talk about rose-colored glasses. Those rose-colored glasses covered our third eye, and we just saw the best in everyone because we couldn't see their darkness. And then in this process, our Kundalini opens our third eye, and then we're like, you're not a good person. You're not a nice individual, even though you look charming and you sound charming and you do. I'm going to just walk away. Which leads me to like another video I should probably do on why it is so important that you are in isolation and not dating and celibate for a period of time while you're learning to manage and trust your own energy, so you're not intermingling with somebody else's energy. There is a reason why we are put into seclusion. It's for our greatest good. You may feel lonely, you may feel miserable, and that's okay. It's okay to feel lonely, and it's okay to feel miserable, and you comfort yourself through those moments and through those care, and you comfort yourself through any other emotions that come up. It's so you can alchemize all of the emotions that are coming to you. You can process through and learn the gifts that have opened up in you. You can learn to manage your own energy and ground yourself through all these crazy ups and downs and oscillations and fluctuations and this and that. We're in an energy that has never existed in this world before. Okay, we have just gone age of Aquarius with Pluto moving into Aquarius energy. The last time that it has been in that energy was the French Revolution and the American Revolution. We are in revolution energy that has just begun and is going to stay there for the next 20 years. Now, this year, 2025, is one that I've been like, I've not been all like, yay, it's going to be a lovely year. I've been terrified. We have 3 weeks of no planets in retrograde. That's it. 3 weeks. The rest of the time, we've got multiple planets doing multiple things. In fact, all of the planets are moving this year into a new sign. Pluto's kicked us off into moving into Aquarius. Now, I'm not an astrologer, but I know enough now that every time there's a major shift energetically, I feel it. I'm not just feeling other people, and I'm feeling the consciousness of the universe, as the universe is twisting and shaping itself into something new and bringing us into something new. So this year alone, we have every other planet moving into a brand new sign. Brand new sign. Every single planet is moving into new energy. So anything that existed before in the world will no longer exist. It has to change. All the things that we were once holding on to are our old realities, our old ways of being, our old ways of thinking, our old ways of doing, our old ways of, it's all going to crumble and fall. If it's not in alignment with you, it will not stay. It will not stick. It will not. The foods, the people, the places, the jobs, the situations, it's all going to change. And this year, it's like last year, we already got the alarm clock and said time's up. A lot of people have started their awakening. And as I said, they don't know what's going on. So you may be going through the throes of confusion, the throes of what's happened to me, or you might have a family member that is going through the panic and the paranoia and all of that. And so the more we ourselves step into alignment with our mission, whatever your mission is, if you're in alignment with mine, that means helping to educate other people. It means helping to give support in medical communities. It means helping children in swimming pools, if that's where you work. It means you're being called into mission to help facilitate what is going to be a lot of panic, a lot of paranoia, a lot of suicidal ideation, because it's so overwhelming, the collapse of ego. And ego tries to convince you that you're dying or that you must die, because it's really ego that's dying, but nobody knows what ego death is, and nobody knows what Kundalini is, and nobody knows where to go, when to go, or what to do. So what to do is we're going to remind ourselves that we are safe. We are going to learn to alchemize and transmute and shift the energies, whatever energies come to us, whether they are ours or somebody else's, so that we can help facilitate on the 5D energetically the shift that is happening in consciousness. We're not going to get paid for it. We're not going to be known for it. We're not going to get credit for it. So throwing energy back is a waste of time, because it's only going to be like a game of catch. You're it. So whatever is thrown at you energetically, whether it's yours or not, transmute it. Send it into the earth. Literally shake it off. Get up and dance. Do Qigong. Do Tai Chi. Do whatever. Do whatever you are intuitively guided to do. Your intuition, your soul knows. Your soul knows what's best. Go into the shower and have a cold shower. Get yourself support if you need some. Book a one-on-one Zoom with me, and let's discuss some of the weirder stuff that you might be experiencing and some tools that you can use to help transmute whatever energies are coming at us. Because our mission isn't the 3D mission of necessarily sitting in front of a camera and helping people. You might be in mission by lying in bed and transmuting energy. That is huge. What you are shifting on the collective front, if you are doing deep purges and you are doing deep warrior work, oh my God, you are clearing karma like up the wazoo. And nobody might give you credit for you. You know, nobody's going to come along and tap you on the shoulder and say, oh my God, you're doing a fabulous job. Or maybe they will. I will. If you need validation, I will. I'll tell you you're doing a fabulous job. I'll remind you of the warrior work that you're doing as you've gone through initiation after initiation after initiation after initiation, otherwise known as what I call the fuckeries. And you're like, is this shit ever going to end? What the heck is going to break next? I have all my appliance break on me one after another. You know, I had a friend that trying to drive here to me, her car kept breaking down one part after another. She was like, she had 2 stops to get here. What would have been a 6-hour drive turned into a 12-hour drive. So, you're going to find all kinds of things that are coming in your life to test you and push you and squeeze you and mess with you, all to help you clear out stuff. And what you're doing is massive, massive warrior work. Energetically, it's massive. Or you've seen me in the throes of yuck. You've seen me in the highs of highs. And, this is the way the energy is until we get like this. So it'll get shorter, it'll get faster, it'll get calmer the more work we do. And so we just need to hold on to that. So I'm sending my absolute love out to anyone that's going through dark stuff and is overwhelmed and scared. And don't get yourself all caught up into stories. Don't do it. Turn off all of the nonsense. Turn off anything that is feeding the fear. Do not feed the fear. Do not feed the fear. If it's the news that's making you scared, turn off the news. If it's the alternative news that's making you scared and conspiracy theories, turn that shit off too. If it's reading medical warnings, turn that shit off as well. I am safe in my body, in my bed, in my house. I am safe here now. I am safe here now. I am safe here now. And you keep repeating that until your body actually believes it. Because our bodies are still in the old reality and they need time. The nervous system needs time to regulate. It needs time to get in alignment with soul. That is what's slowing this mission down, is that everybody's nervous systems are running on operating system, Intel or Commodore 64 or something. And we're upgrading from a Commodore 64 consciousness into an Apple Safari consciousness. It's a big jump, and our nervous system is like, can't take it. What's happening? I don't know what's going on. I need to know. We don't need to know. We're not going to know. There's a lot of people out there that are going to tell you exactly what's happening, and there's a lot of people, watch out, that are going to say a lot of things that are going to put fear into you. So limit what you put into your ears. Limit what you read. Limit yourself to positive, soothing energies, so that you're not feeding the fear, because you have enough in your nervous system that's been stored there for all of your life. Your nervous system has remembered every single trauma. Your nervous system has remembered every single betrayal. Your nervous system has remembered every single loss. So while you're going through your own awakening, which means transmuting through all the energies that you repressed underneath all of the drinking, the smoking, the pharmaceuticals, the food, the relationships, the trauma bonds, the overwork, the gambling, the sex addiction, the porn addiction, the everything, anything else that you've been using as coping mechanisms to hold all that trauma in place, is going to fall away, and you're going to be left with a nervous system that's like this. So we've got to calm the nervous system. There are lots of programs out there for nervous system regulations. I really love the somatic movement, and just intuitively, you can do it at home. Intuitively move yourself. Dance around the room if you need to. Dance around the room naked by yourself. Who cares? Shake it off. Get back into the energies of grounding it, using your feet. Get into the cold water, as I've said. Use the mantra work that I've said. Use the breath. Use your breathing. Use prayer. Use anything and everything. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, please don't hesitate to reach out and book a session with me. And we can talk about other tools and techniques that you can use, which includes altering your diet. So an anti-anxiety diet would be in order, and in which case that's no sugar, no dairy, no wheat, bye-bye. Those all contribute and exacerbate. No caffeine, no alcohol, no drugs. So those are going to be really hard for a lot of people to let go of. But if you're starting to feel anxiety, overwhelm, panic, paranoia, even, am I having delusions? Am I going crazy? Am I losing my mind? If any of these are occurring for you, let's not let them go undealt with. We can find solutions to get through it, because I've been through it. You've watched me. You've watched me post picture after picture of lying in the grass to regulate a nervous system that was so badly after reporting my ex to the police last year and the year before, of all of the crazy initiations that I had to go through and all of the experiences that I had to experience on my shaman's initiation. So I am sending you all my absolute love and compassion. I want to hold you in my arms and tell you that everything is going to be okay. I'm holding you right now. I need you to know that. I need you to know that. I need you to know that everything is going to be okay. Somebody out there needed to hear that today. And so that's why I hopped on and did this video right away. I did a while back a video of my voice talking to help reparent through difficult emotions. That might be a really useful tool for some of you to hop on. I think it's like remothering through difficult emotions or something like that. Very soothing. If you don't like my voice, and that's okay. If you don't like my voice, then find another affirmations. There's 8-hour affirmations that you can listen to that have, fear ones. I am safe. You want I am safe affirmations. I had for months. I played every single night 8-hour affirmations. You are safe. Everything is going to be okay. Everything is working out. This is for your highest and greatest good. You are awakening. There's a good one to remember. You are awakening. This is your awakening. This is too shall pass. Everything is going to be okay. Soft, gentle, kind, nurturing, loving vibe. Yeah, I don't know. After feeling what I felt today, I'm worried, but I'm loving on you. You are seen. You are held. You are not alone. Everything is going to be okay. Peace out.